Hey everyone, it's Thanksgiving weekend, and I love Thanksgiving, particularly here in Canada because it's a little bit earlier than it is in the US and maybe in other places around the world. It's a time in which we give thanks for all of the amazing things that we do have. And I think that is so important right now, especially because we are still surrounded with so many different gifts, and it's hard to remember that as our lives seem to have been shrunk because of this current pandemic and our response to it. And so it's really important to practice this discipline of giving thanks. Even if you're not a Christian and not a believer in God, to kind of write down the things that you're grateful for, the things that are in your life that you see as gifts is so useful. And this time often also encourages us to be generous to other people. Here at our church, we're going to be collecting for the food bank and providing some funds to the Lacombe Food Bank and some goods to the Black Falls Food Bank. And it's just a way for us to give back after we have been given so much. And I think it would be amazing if we continued to make this a habit in our everyday lives. And we do so as a Christian community as we give offerings. So for those of you who are not Christians and you think that churches are just looking for more money, the reason we do it is to cultivate generosity within ourselves. And we give most of that away in all kinds of different formats. And it's a good practice to build in our lives. Michael Frost, actually, in his book called The 5 Habits of Highly Missional People, gives one of his habits, actually his first habit, is called bless. And in it, he simply says that you should commit yourself, or you could commit yourself, to blessing 3 people in a week, at least one of whom is not from your church, or if you don't go to church, from your kind of immediate network. It's just a way to give and to show and practice generosity and to increase our network and our connections with other people. So his challenge is to bless, to find a tangible way to make someone's life better. One person who's not a part of your church, your immediate network or circle. One person who is a part of your immediate network or circle. And then the third person could be either a category. It's just a way to make sure that we're both connecting with those who are a part of our community and with those who are not. And he gives kind of 3 categories for ways to bless. And those are simple things such as words of affirmation. So maybe calling somebody up that you haven't talked to for a while and just sharing ways in which you appreciate them. Or maybe even at the grocery store, just sharing some appreciation for the person that's doing your checkout or that's packing your groceries. Particularly in this time, there's a whole lot of stress and they probably get a whole lot of angry comments rather than kind comments. And so that's just a very simple way to do it. Maybe just doing some acts of kindness for other people. In the fall, there's often a lot of leaves around, so maybe you could go rake the lawn for somebody that's around you, rake up the leaves, or do other kinds of things. Or maybe even gifts. Find ways to give things to other people and to give things that would help them out in certain ways, particularly if people have a need. I think that is really, really useful to do so and to build a connection there. Now, if you're not a Christian, I think these are just good things to do. If you are, these are things that we're kind of instructed to. After John, in 1 John chapter 3, verse 17, he says, "If anyone has material possessions and sees his brother or sister in need, but has no pity on him, how can the love of God be in him? Dear children, let's not just love with words or with tongues, but with actions and in truth." So that's my challenge or my encouragement over this next, maybe even over the next whole life, as you kind of get into a habit of giving thanks for what you have and then sharing that with others. Just bless 3 people every week. Someone who is a part of your community, someone who is not a part of your community, and then the third person could be anyone. This is a way for us to be able to share the love and to help spread gratitude in our world. And I think our world right now could use a lot more gratitude. So happy Thanksgiving to all my Canadian folks.